G'day, Aussie Bonsai Bloke, here you go. Well, today I'm going to be working on me on some new stock for bonsai. So I probably did the heading as beginner trees or beginner stock, or growing beginner and then growing stock for the future, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever the title is, it is, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab, what I did is I went to the nursery, grabbed 10 different natives, because I'm trying to grow natives for the future, to grow as bonsai. I don't know a lot about the different ones that I picked, whether or not you can cut them down or not. I think some of them you can, some you can't. I'll have to research before I cut them down hard. Do a bit of research. But anyway, we're off to a bit of a start here. Got some stuff. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go through and maybe just tell you what I got. So we got the Bubiala, Myoporum insulera. I'll be really butchering these names up because I've got no idea. My English is terrible. Leptospermum, or silky tea tree. So I know the silky tea tree looks like this one. You can cut back because they have, and it's budded out. I think that could be like a mint bush or something for a common name. Silky tea tree, they're a little bit like a pine. I don't think you can cut them back to old wood and expect them to bud. So don't cut the tea tree back to old wood. Treat them a bit like a pine. Myoporum viscosum, or sticky Bubiala. Sticky Bubiala. Oh man, got a bit of a cold, sorry about that. Melaleuca alternifolia, I know that one's used a lot as bonsai. The rest probably not so much, but I just wanted something different and to get some natives. And it's very hard to find native stock, so what I've done here is gone and got some tube stock from the native nursery, and I'm just going to experiment, pot them up into bigger pots, and we're just going to experiment. Okay, this is a Grevillea Winpara Gold. Pretty sure they do back bud, so those ones you can cut back hard to a trunk once you grow a trunk. Roll. Leptospermum petersoni. So Sonii or something like that. So once again, Leptospermum is the tea tree family, I'm pretty sure, yes. So the tea tree family, so don't cut that one back to old wood. When I was looking for the tea trees, they have some really tall ones without shoots at the bottom. Look for the ones that have shoots at the bottom, because you know that it's going to have bottom branching. If you've got a long one without any shoots at the bottom, it could be stuck for bottom branching, so just be really wary about that. Same with this one, it's got some little shoots at the bottom, and they don't bud back, not reliably anyway. Okay, here's another tea tree, Leptospermum green tea tree. I'm not even going to try and say that scientific name, I'm hopeless. Here's another cool one that I got. I just thought I'd try it. This is a hibiscus apricot mist. So it's going to be a really cool one. It's got really spiky trunk on it. I don't know what happens with the old wood on these things, I've got no idea. But I thought it would be pretty cool. Blooms in summer and autumn. So I just thought it would be cool to try something different, you know. Here's another sticky Bubiala. Bubiala, sorry. So there's another one of those. And this one's a a Banksia marginata, silver Banksia, and I'm pretty sure you can cut them back too, and they'll reshoot. Cut them back pretty hard. I think the tea tree is really the only one that doesn't. Sometimes the Melaleuca can have a bit of trouble shooting back as well, but I think it should be okay. It's got some bottom branching too, but to be honest, I know it's dumb, but I got this for the actual fatter trunk. And really you should go for movement over the trunk, but they're all really straight, so we might even wire some in. So anyway, that's that. We got our 10 trees. I think it was 5 for 20 bucks, so I got 10 for 40. I think I saved 10 bucks. Saved 10 bucks. So anyway, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm basically just going to be pulling them out. I'll show you, I'll put up one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the normal potting mix. Just put normal potting mix. We're trying to grow them. We're not trying to bonsai them yet. We're just trying to grow them up bigger. Okay. So we put our potting mix. Oh, Sam. You idiot. You idiot, mate. Just filled it up so full that now I can't get the pot in. Okay, so I'm going to dig a hole in the middle. Alright, which one's first? Maybe I'll do the sticky boobiola, just because I like the name. Sticky boobs. And let's get this one rolling. So you can see it's got some good roots on there. I hope you can see that. I'll just tease it out just a little bit at the bottom. Okay, and then I'll put it in there. And then I'll chuck in some potting mix. Now I didn't research any natives that are used for bonsai. I did know that the alternifolia Melaleuca is used. Everything else here, I've got no idea. No idea at all. I haven't researched any of these trees. I just grabbed stuff that I thought would look cool as a bonsai. Another thing I'd like to try is the Illawarra flame tree. But anyway, if you're a beginner, this is a good way to grow stock, and a good thing to do if you've only got a small little skinny plant like this. This is a good thing to do. You just pot it up like I am here. Okay, and that's it. And then I'll put a bit of wire on this and just try and put some movement into the main trunk, because once it gets fatter, even this fat will be very hard to put movement in there without breaking it now. So what I might do with this one is even just plant it on a big angle and make it shoot outside more. We'll see. But put a bit of wire on and let it shoot out. So we're just going to let that grow for 2 years now, maybe 3. Let it get fat. If it fills this pot, it gets quite big. We may even slip pot it into another bigger pot, and it's a good way to grow stock, because you go and buy an established tree, if you don't have money like me, it's going to cost you a lot of money and you're not going to get what you want. This way you can at least put some wire on, put a bit of shape into it, grow it out and get a big trunk. Just remember, the tea trees don't shoot back, so what you're going to have to do with them is, even as it's growing a bigger trunk, you're still going to have to keep cutting and keeping the bottom branching quite dense, so that you've got lots of options later once it's grown. Because if you let the whole thing just grow out and then it drops all its leaves off the bottom, well, you may never be able to get it back. Whereas if you keep cutting the bottom branches to force it to divide out, then that'll be all usable growth in the long run. So just remember that if it doesn't bud back. But if it buds back, you can just let it grow out wild, trunk chop it back to nothing, and it'll shoot back out. But I got this sticky what the hell is it called? Sticky boobiala, sticky boobiala. I got that because I really like the leaves on it. Pretty cool leaves, reasonably small. And I had a look at some of the older ones, and they actually have a really cool stripy trunk, which I think will suit bonsai. I've never seen one done. I'm sure someone has, but I've just grabbed all different stuff. I'll put the name tag back in there so I know what it is. And over the next 2 years, 3 years as it's growing, I'll try and remember what names I've got here, because I don't want to get muddled up and not remember what trees I've got. But you can do this with any tree, exotic trees, you know, like your Chinese elms, maples, everything. It's a way not to worry about putting them in the ground. If I had deciduous trees though, I would put them in the ground because they fatten up a lot quicker. It's just that if I put these in the ground, being natives hate being dug up, so if I put them in the ground and then dig them up 4 years later or 3 years later, whatever, with a fat trunk on them, the likelihood is it's all wasted and they'll probably all die. So that's why I'm going to just slip pot them into bigger pots and try and grow the trunks in pots, and then once I've got the trunk to where I want it and the branching, then I'll cut the root ball back slowly so that the tree doesn't die. And then natives are pretty hardy. Natives are hardy and don't mind a root prune, so long as you've always got them in a pot. You put them in the ground and they get a long taproot and all the roots run wild, and then when you dig them out, you only get a few thick roots and the tree dies. You get no fibrous roots, whereas this contains all the fibrous roots. So anyway, I'm going to pot the rest up and then we'll put some wire on them. So I'll just quickly pot them all up, sit them on the table for you, and then we'll put a little bit of wire on some of them. No worries, let's get to it. And I'll put your hyperlapse for the potting up, because you don't want to see me potting up every single one. No worries, cheers. G'day, welcome back. Well, g'day guys, welcome back. They're all potted up, all ready to go. A whole assortment. There's only two that are the same as the sticky boo tree. The rest are all different. The 3 tea trees are all different variety, different leaf. One's got a big leaf, small leaf, medium leaf. I don't know, the nursery had pretty well sold out of most of their small eucalypts, apart from the gooseberry mallee. But I've got about 4 gooseberry mallees that I'm trying to do as bonsai now. So, see what happens. But anyway, a lot of these, I felt the trunks and they just feel like they would snap if I wired them up. So I will wire one. I felt one that felt okay. The rest feel like they'll snap, so what I've done is I've planted them on big angles so that then they'll grow towards the light and bend themselves up. And of course you can clip and grow back to other shoots, which will change the direction and create a really interesting trunk anyway, which is generally how I do it, clip and grow in the ground. If I've got them in the ground, like deciduous trees, what I do is I let them grow strong, and every year I cut them back hard, you know, almost to the base. Then they change direction, cut them again the year after, then they change direction. And I'll probably treat these like that, but these are going to be in the pots. Another way you can do the pots, if you're really, well, another really good way that you can do it, now that they're going to be in pots, is when they grow and fill these pots with roots, if you sit them on the ground and water them on the actual ground, what they do is they put roots out into the ground, get super energy, so they, you know, it's like they're on steroids, get super energy from the ground, grow really, really fast, and as long as you keep watering the top so that the fine feeder roots don't die, then you can come along and chop the roots off around the edges that are gone in the ground, and it will survive, and that way you get a thicker trunk faster. So yeah, this is a really good way to, you know, increase your collection, because here we got 10 trees just like that, and for, you know, anywhere from 2 to 5 years depending on how thick you want the trunk, we can, you know, seriously start working on some bonsai. And in the meantime, get yourself, you know, if you haven't got many at the moment, go and get yourself some Chinese elms or something and just practice clipping and growing and wiring and all that sort of stuff. And while this stuff grows here, every year we'll cut it back hard and hopefully get some really interesting trunks out of it. So anyway, the reason I've done this is because it's really hard to find good native stock, and if you go to a nursery, everything's just grown tall and straight because that's how people like their trees when they buy them. They're not grown for bonsai. So it'd be really cool if someone did start growing some native stock for bonsai, but at the moment, no, you have to grow your own. So here we go, they're all tagged. I'll learn what names they are. Pretty cool. So we'll wire one. I've selected this tea tree here. A bit risky though, because if you break the tea tree trying to wire it, well, good luck, because like I said, they don't back bud, so just be really, really careful. Yeah, that's about it. So you want to grow some stock, that's how you do it. When they fill the pots, put them on the ground, let them get more bigger, and if you really want them big, you might have to pot them up to the next bigger size pot and put them on the ground again. So that's about it. Let's wire one just to show you how to wire and put a bit of shape in if you want to put a bit of shape in, but in general I've just planted them all on an angle so they'll have some interesting bends and stuff, and then I'll just cut them back. It's a lot easier for me because I don't have to try and remember to take wire off and whatever else. Yeah, let's get some shape into it. I might even wire this grevillea actually, it's really flexible, whereas this tea tree, I don't want to, it's not overly flexible and I don't want to snap it and then end up with nothing. So I'll wire this grevillea just to show you guys, and that's it. So cheers, let's get some wire. Okay guys, so here we're going to wire this grevillea. My wire is probably too thick, but just a bit of aluminium wire. Chuck it in the ground or pot. Very carefully wrap the wire around whatever branch you're going to wire, or trunk. I should say this is the main trunk, so wrap it around. Use the other hand to support the wire with it, so that you're not hurting the tree. So you're not actually using the tree to help you wrap. You're actually using your hand and wrapping it around. Okay, so there we go. Wires around there. Now, put some twists in it, but twist it in the same direction that your wire's going. And that'll tighten the wire. If you twist it in a direction that's different to the direction of your wire will loosen and it won't work. So okay, so there's a weird twist. You can see that weird twist, and that'll be the new trunk line. So when this grevillea grows into there and starts to bite in, I'll cut the wire off, and that's it. So if you've got Chinese elms, or you know, anything that will take on, that is fairly soft and will take on the shape of the wire, a lot of your deciduous trees, you can wire it, bend it, and you'll soon know when you bent it too far, because it will snap. But that's it. Then I'll let these grow. It'll be, you know, anywhere from 2 to 4 years before any of these start to become bonsai, but you know, 4 years goes pretty quick, guys. Doesn't actually take long. The best time to start getting some stock is now. And if you can't find it, this is the best way to do it. A lot of my trees that I've got out in the garden now as bonsai, I started as sticks like this. Like I've got my big Chinese elm started out like this. Only 7-8 years ago. It doesn't sound, you know, you say it quick, it's not that long. And 7-8 years is not very long, and it's already starting to look pretty good as a bonsai. So this hibiscus apricot mist is actually, even the new shoots are really stiff, so I feel that one's going to be 100% clip and grow. Some of the others could get some wire later on. The alternifolia, new growth, really soft, you can bend it in half, doesn't snap. Old growth, I feel like it would snap. Tea trees, a bit the same, you can bend the new growth, old growth, no. So the grevillea seems really soft, that one bent easy. So anyway, I planted them all on a bit of an angle. We're going to clip and grow most of them, get them fat. I'll do updates on these trees, and that's it. I've just increased my collection by 10%, just like that. So, and if they don't work out, I'll chuck them in the garden. No worries. Thanks for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe, tell your mates about the channel. And if you're a long time watcher and you haven't subscribed, don't bloody bother. Well, no worries. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Appreciate it.